Where's my mouse? Okay, that could be, or this could be, probably one of the top 5 drives in Colorado.
Oh, my gosh, beautiful.
Alongside of Jay Parker and Brian Freeman, I'm Greg Hollenbach, along with the gals from the CRA, Colorado Restaurant Association, Devaney McNeil and Laura Shunk. You guys, here it is, going through Glenwood Canyon. I don't know, Brian, what do you think? Coming out into South Park, that's a beautiful drive off of 85.
Yes.
But this drive right here on I-70, look at the leaves.
Well, Glenwood Canyon. I mean, where are you going wrong? But I'll tell you, though, I today have a lot of respect coming out of the Vale area.
Oh,
because the Eagle Vale and all the colors changing.
Frisco was just lit up. This is day 2 of our road trip. So we're calling it the TME CRA road trip. And, guys, it's been just a couple of 2 days. It almost seems like a week so far. But I want you to look.
Wow,
did you guys notice the side of I-70 that was just scorched?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, I mean, you're reliving my drive because we didn't all drive together. Mm-hmm. So I remember it just like it was today. Oh.
Well, and could you notice the
smoke?
It was
today.
Yeah, could you notice the smoke?
All right, we are broadcasting live from 626 on Rude, and we're in Grand Junction, Colorado. Day 2 of the road trip continues as we go out to connect community, talk about support, talk about all of the great things that are going on right now. Just safety is really cool because none better than some of the restaurants that we go by. But Theo's going to come out with our first course. Well, actually, we got one course, but he's coming out with a salad course. Yeah. And I really admire the stuff that he's doing. What do you think so far, Laura?
So far, so good. That soup, if that's what's happening for the rest of this dinner, I'm in.
Well, but wait a second. You had some calamari, and I thought you said something good about that.
That was really good. I think that was a signature dish, I believe, the sticky peach calamari. And then
the sticky peach habanero.
Oh, missed the pepper. Key ingredient. With that ponzu sauce, right?
Yes,
the
ginger
glaze,
ponzu.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk.
Quiz me.
We will test after this. We're gonna eat, we're gonna drink, we're gonna relax. 626 on Route. Theo's gonna come out and join us, and we're gonna talk regional. We're gonna talk about fall. First day of autumn. Happy first day of autumn, you guys.
Oh.
You like this time of year?
Well, the weather right now is as perfect as can be.
It's really
Isn't it
nice.
gorgeous,
I was a little chilly in Breckenridge last night. Today in Grand Junction, a little warm, but a lovely evening. This is a little video, just B-roll that Brian shot before, and kind of give you an idea of where we're at tonight. Brian, give us the play-by-play.
Well, this is a quaint little restaurant that has been around, I believe, like 13 years or more. And what Theo and his beautiful wife have done here is just incredible. I'll tell you, over 20 wines on tap. But more than that, what he cares about and the ethos here at 626 on Route is all about local community. And today, I know, he stopped by 2 or 3 farms on his way into the restaurant to pick up ingredients for tonight's dinner. I mean, and that's how committed he is. He's just an incredible person, and he's doing it right. I mean, he's elevated food.
Throw that headset on.
Okay.
Fantastic. The boss showed up. And it's not Theo. Well, no, the other way. Yeah, we got you. There you go. No problem.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Bring that mic. Hey, Jay's coming over to help you out there. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yay.
Gotcha.
Yes, he is a good guy.
Introduce yourself if you would.
Hi, I'm Brenda, co-owner, boss at 626 on Route.
Let me introduce.
That's actually my email, boss at 626.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right. If you like what you see tonight, or don't, email her.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's horrible.
We'll introduce you to these gals. I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Devaney with the Colorado Restaurant Association, and we're tagging along with the Modern Eater guys to do this road trip, and it's been a blast.
How fun.
It's been fun, and this is a highlight already. We've had delicious tomatoes and burrata, calamari, and that broth with the
the grain
Oh,
broth?
my God. Unbelievably delicious.
Fantastic. Go ahead.
And I'm Laura. I'm also with the Colorado Restaurant Association. Very
so
glad
nice
be
to
here.
have both of you here. on
Thank
this
you.
crazy
So
night.
happy to be here.
This beautiful night.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Let us tell you what we're up to. Actually, I was surprised by it, but you said, I've watched the show a time or two. And you're like, are you doing
Because
this?
you guys are crazy. I love watching you. It's not boring, let me tell you that.
I don't know how crazy some middle-aged guys are, but we'll run around the state and we'll just be ourselves. So I'm glad you enjoy it, and thank you very much. But we're here tonight, and just so glad to be able to feature you. And one of the things that we're out doing is just connecting with folks, and connecting with folks that are doing great things, but safety, community, and support. I'll let you take it from there, but I think this would be a great opportunity to maybe get a couple of sound bites. Well, Miss Brenda's here with us.
Yeah, we're, Colorado Restaurant Association. We've spent the beginning of the pandemic sort of battening down the hatches and trying to help people kind of get through the 6 months that we've been in this so far. But now we think it's really important to tell some of those stories to the public. So, and to the public and to our legislators and to anybody else who needs to understand the reality of what restaurants have faced since this all started. Since it's probably I think it's the biggest challenge that's faced our industry, and certainly a generation, maybe 100 years since the last pandemic. So we're out with these guys, talking to people about their experiences. He mentioned community support as in how how the public and legislators and we at the CRA can support you as you navigate this. Community, how you've built community over this time. Normally in a pandemic, we'd all be or maybe not in a pandemic, but in a crisis, we'd all be commiserating in a restaurant. So we can't do that. So how have you sort of managed that despite that challenge? And then the safety piece, we've talked to several restaurateurs who talk about there are people out there that haven't had their first experience back in a restaurant. So how do you show them that it's safe to go out? It's okay to go and sit on a patio and have a good time and, relax for a night, not have to cook for themselves.
Right.
So
That's kind of why we're out. I mean, look around. I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel safe. And
Everyone here on your beautiful patio looks pretty happy.
Yeah, well, the patio is the big deal, right?
Yeah.
And, we have people call up, make a reservation, or they go online and they say patio only. And if we can't give them the patio, they're not going to come dine.
Sort of scare your lifeblood
That's
right here.
So it's really scary for us. How do we go into the next season? And, we've already bought 3 heaters for the outside. We have blankets. We're even talking about putting a fire pit outside, anything to keep it going. But what we've tried to do is just, and with our staff, the safety and the cleanliness and the sanitation, and try to express that to our guests. And tell them, and show them when we're on the floor, look, this is what we're doing. We're constantly, every 30 minutes, going around and sanitizing everything. And, the recycling, because we have to do paper. We decided to go ahead and keep the paper menus as the QR code because
I got to tell you, that's kind of refreshing. It's nice.
Well,
to
I know.
just
I was in
pick up
Denver a couple
menu.
weeks ago, and people were having a hard time with the QR codes. And
I've got it
people
down
are
now.
thanking us.
But this is nice.
Yeah. Well,
and
people are
then we
thanking
know
us
you
for it.
and we know you throw them away.
Well,
so
we
that they're-
recycle. I mean, we have a huge recycling program in the back of the restaurant. Even the garden, we take the swamp cooler water and drain it into buckets, and that's how. So we're really always conscious of that and teaching our staff.
wait till you get to know these guys. It's really next level stuff.
Wow.
Waste.
Well, I was raised by a Depression mother.
Oh, I love it. That
So
instills very
Yeah.
good values.
I'm going around watching I dig in the trash. We have new people and they throw things in the trash. No, you don't do that. But we've
love
just,
you, Brenda.
at the beginning, we closed for a couple of days and they're like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And we just have to evolve every day. Every week's been different. We wrapped 2,400 cookies for an organization, each 24 individual cookies. And then we burned the recipe because I was done with it. We became a tamale factory. We were selling tamales to go. We just know we're just going to evolve and do what we need to do
The
to keep
ultimate
going.
entrepreneurs.
Well, you have to
Switching it
survive.
around.
We're no spring chickens, Steele and I. So this is our last one, and we have awesome staff. So, and they're getting to learn through this as well, which is really interesting. And as far as the safety, and don't hang around with friends that are not practicing safety, because if we have to close the restaurant, we're all out of work.
Yeah.
So it's just every day we're ready for the next challenge, and you just have to be that way.
It's interesting because I tell people, just follow your gut. You know whether you feel safe or not in any instance. You walk into something, you're just like, it's a little too much for me, or go double time it back out of there. But what we do, while we want to go show people doing things that are great, there may be an audience of folks right now that are peeking in and like, oh boy, I'd like to go do that again. And we always take the default of like, think about restaurants and their safety anyways. I mean, their cleanliness habits, all of the things.
They were already doing it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we spoke this conversation last night, Brenda, is you have been looking out for people's safety, you and Theo, for so long.
Yes.
14 years here.
Exactly. And in a way, we forget about that. Every restaurant owner is really looking out for all of our safety because the way they prepare the food, to make sure that their cleanliness.
Right.
These are things that you already had ingrained in you.
What is a restaurant's worst nightmare when you get that phone call? I got sick.
Yeah.
I got the runs. I got this or that, and you're like, oh, panic, And, so if you're in this business, you should always be aware and always be watching out for that. And your staff.
Yeah.
Your staff. Now, I'm the little watching over everybody. Even like a water bottle, you're supposed to be heading to the counter, and they have it. Like, this is critical. Don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. So it's just watching and teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
And tiptoeing back into it, because as I was out front and we were bringing some equipment in, curbside service, boop, right into the car. You want your food?
Yeah.
You get to go. So there's some pivot points that obviously take place, but again, when you look around and you just see a well-appointed, spacious patio, you go, oh, boy, we got to look around corners, and the next corner is fall, winter. How do we keep this alive? How do we, the folks that will only come dine with us if we're outdoors?
Right.
What are you doing to look around the corners? I know you mentioned a couple of the heating lamps.
Yeah, but that's only going to last, got to be realistic.
Sure.
We're trying to come up with some special events that will draw people out that we can do intimately but social distancing. Mm-hmm. So we just did a wine dinner, and everyone was social distance, and, it was very intimate, so it was nice. It wasn't packed 50 people in a restaurant, and you're all getting the food at once and the wine at once. So we did it through different times through the night, and we had the winemaker here, and it was awesome. And so my next idea is a sensory dinner.
What does that mean?
Well,
the lights out one?
Like no. Because no.
That's what came to my mind.
Is it really?
I love it.
Well, people have had no sensory through the mask thing. So you get to take your mask off of the table, but you put a blindfold on. So you're using a different sensory. You're going someplace else instead of. Because I don't know anybody else, but the mask thing has been hard for me to function.
It's hard.
Go to the store. My sense is off.
I have a mask holder now, so I can stop forgetting it.
Oh, wow.
Pretty
That's
fancy.
pretty cool.
Well, Brenda, what's interesting is they were with a chef today in Vail, Paul from Latour.
Oh, I love Paul.
Yeah, and
he's awesome.
He is an incredible guy. And one of the things that he said to me a while ago was, I offer three things. I offer this sense of community, which is given through the interaction at my restaurant. He's like, I give you ingredients, but then I give you a story.
Right.
But now I'm giving you the story behind a mask.
Right.
My community is 6 feet apart everywhere. And he was describing the challenges that you just said about how do you connect with people through a mask? How do you create this intimate relationship again that you've had with everyone that comes into your restaurant and your community through farmers?
Yep. Jay's going to hand, Chef, if you could come over here by Jay. Or switch, whichever one you want. I think we can get another mic here, but I'd love for you to describe this dish. And then we really just want to get geeky, have fun, talk food, get some background, learn about you guys as well.
I'll go back inside because we're busy, so I need to go back inside.
Okay. Thank you. Brenda, but come back. Don't.
Yeah, come back.
Thank you, Brenda. Yes, we want to hear more from you.
Don't you stay away. Okay, do you have a...
Finally.
Could you please, Theo, introduce yourself, if you would?
I'm Theo Oddie, co-owner of 626 on Rood. I just met Brenda, my beautiful partner, life, and everything else we do with the restaurant. And we've been here 14 years, and it's been a very interesting of the 14 years that we've had. I think I've been in restaurants 40 years and Brenda about that much. There isn't a business model for what we're doing right now, and we're creating it on the fly every day. Unfortunately, we've got a great staff and all of our growers in the valley and on the western slope are figuring this out too as we go along. So I have some great food for you tonight. And,
well, we've already had some of your
yes,
great
please.
food, but
So
tell us about this.
Yeah, we'll talk and eat. Tell us about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I definitely wanted to do pears from the area. As you probably heard today, the peach crop was a total wipeout. I've lived over here 17, 18 years, never seen anything like this, and a lot of the old-timers, older than me, have never seen anything like it. Some of the huge orchards had like 99.9%. High Country Orchard's huge. They had one case they were able to find for me. Scott High, I don't know if you know him. He climbed up a tree and got them himself. And Talbot's
I've known
had
Scott
some.
High forever. I went to Aspen Food and Wine for the first time with him, and that was probably 20 years ago.
Is that true?
Hi, Scott.
Yeah. But with the pears.
Talbot said what for you?
What's that?
What did Talbots do? You said you were just...
With the Talbots, and as you saw today, it's just peaches, you can't find them. I would be serving 2 or 3 different versions of peaches normally in a normal year. But we have a great pears hit the backside of the big freeze we had, made it through. And these pears are from Field to Fork, and it's an awesome variety. And Scott and Jessica put together their farm from 3 or 4 of the older farms out in the area, out there in Palisade. And with using the older farms, they inherited some beautiful, really old trees. And these are Flemish Beauty pears. They're probably around 70-year-old trees. And they're such a cool pear, so we grilled those. And what makes them cool is they ripen more slowly and completely evenly. And you can roast them, eat them fresh, desserts, all different ways. But have just this butter pear is another name for them, the smoothness to them. And the other thing, this time of year, we like to do bacon with pear. Well, Ari, who we met a little earlier, had come up and had done some lamb bacon for something else. And so let's put that together with our pear. We have a little uzu dressing. The green on there is sorrel. Shiso. That is from Blaine, who grows a lot of that for us and a couple other restaurants in the valley. And then actually the little purslane is the small green on there. There's a lot of purslane. Everybody's got purslane in their gardens, cracks.
Most people don't know it.
Yeah. Well, we got these from an organic farmer up in Hotchkiss area, and we didn't pick it out of the cracks here in the garden.
Well, but
There's
you do
plenty of it
such
here.
a great job. Theo,
Well, it's
with
next
your
level.
sourcing.
It's just
Yeah,
next
I mean,
level. So,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to do. Thank you for joining us, and I appreciate it. So 626 on Rude. This is really just a highlight. Grand Junction. And you think Grand Junction food scene? Okay, well, maybe. I'll go give it a shot. Denver. This would hold up in any metropolitan area.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Any
I think people
beyond
come
belief.
all the way over from Utah, don't they?
Well, yeah,
to this
it was
restaurant?
particularly when we were one of the first counties to get reopened in the state. So even though the governor said don't travel, people traveled, and it was Utah. There's license plates Utah and from the Front Range in here, and we kind of started figuring out how to do this. And it's always been this time of year a lot of cross-traveling going through here from states all over the country. But this time of year is so beautiful here, and I'm fortunate you're able to catch some of the great produce that's here. The valley, it's natural for great food here because going back when the Indians lived here and this was their home hundreds of years ago, this was a natural garden. The valley here with the water, the sun, the soil so great. And in the early 1900s, Italian immigrants, some of the first vineyards were planted there in Palisade. There's still a few of the really old vineyards hidden away up there. Most of them, unfortunately, got ripped out in the 30s during Prohibition. But now we have great younger farmers coming back and reestablishing these old traditions, and not just farming, but regenerating the land, too.
Fun fact, the CRA actually started when Prohibition ended.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact.
Thank you.
100 years almost.
Thank you for giving me that setup.
Yeah.
Well, and on the farming side, I'll tell you some interesting stuff. Is that the crops that they're growing today are very different than the crops that they were growing 50 years in this area.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of walnuts. Like there were big walnut orchards in this whole area, and so the peaches that we're growing today are almost transformation of what was nut groves back here. If you go back 50, 60 years ago, a lot of people don't know this, but and Scott and Jess, and I don't know if you ever by the way, I am raving fans of Scott and Jess. They are
it's amazing what they're
truly doing. Like the salt of the earth people, unapologetic for who they are and what they're doing and their beliefs. The kind of people I love.
Yeah.
Are you doing inside baseball? Because if you mention people's names, tell them where they're from. And Scott and Jess.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Scott and Jess from Field to Fork. In Palisade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, and they have switched their model trying to, so they're doing a real direct to restaurants, but also a bigger CSA to keep their thing on. But and where I was going with that is they do you ever get a green walnut from them and make any of the green walnuts?
Yeah, actually, that was a process that was one of those things that was really cool for us. One of the first fermentation projects. We kind of what did we get into here? And they have a tree right there at the front of their property. You go in, and it's like, how did somebody figure this out 100 years ago? Because there's 4 stages to make that all happen right. But yeah, they've got some of the old trees like that there, and there's old pictures of Palisades, all nut trees, and some of those people up there shaking them.
So this dish, sweet and savory, hot and
delicious.
Cold. I know it just goes over, and that's what I want to do. I want to talk not only local, but your passion for food and where it comes from. I understood last time we met up. You really like vegetarian dishes too, right?
Well, yeah, that's a copy of our menu from this evening. It's a shadow of what it was from, say, January and February, where we were half the menu was we called herbivore, the other half omnivore. And the herbivore side was true vegan. Brenda has been vegan for a number of years. And she said, you better have some food here that stands up to the wine and everything else we do.
So that the boss can eat.
Yeah, the boss can eat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to take care of numero uno there, And it got us out of our box, carnivore box, so to speak. And it was right at a time where you started to see a lot of good ideas coming out. And we started looking around. We have all these great products, on the Western Slope to work with. And we didn't have to bring them in from somewhere else. And some of the ideas we're taking is just interpreting them with really great local products.
You mentioned Hotchkiss. Did that pork come from Toby McPartland in Hotchkiss, Colorado?
Actually, it was lamb on that.
That was lamb?
Lamb
Yes,
bacon.
Oh my
lamb
God.
bacon.
Yeah, so you got lamb
Can
belly.
you believe
You
that?
just-
I know, dude, right?
You
Yeah.
faked me out. That was
Yeah.
lamb bacon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you almost had me convinced why you're saying that.
That was delicious.
Like,
Wait a minute.
what is this?
I mean, wow.
I
Brian,
heard you say lamb.
Oh, yeah, it was
Chef.
lamb.
It was fantastic. That's great. Tonight you're going to bring out a couple of more dishes. What can we expect that's going to...
Well, we've got Lathe sweet corn, but there's one outfit there, Tuxedo Farms, that actually does a fair amount of organic Lathe sweet corn that just
Tom Harold.
Yeah, dynamite. Such good stuff. And so we do our version of street corn with that. And there we do have some pork. Chorizo from Happy Hog up in the area around there. And then we also have, even though the Ono, we don't have Ono around here, but we used a lot of local ingredients in the dish. So I thought it would be great to showcase that as well. And we're going to finish up with some bison short ribs, too.
You guys seem like the 1-2 punch. Now, is it fair to say back of the house, front of the house? Or, no, not fair to say that.
No,
I was in the dish pit tonight.
You were in the dish
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
night is what she said.
Whatever it takes.
So all hands on deck.
When you
huh?
saw me serving, and it's a total team effort here. And
Total team effort.
yeah,
That's
but
so cool.
Brenda's got the eye and the critique and the palate, and she helps us fine tune and tweak what we do back there, and keeps us on our toes.
Talk your background. Where'd you grow up?
Southern Kansas.
Southern
Yeah,
Kansas.
escaped from there 25 years ago, and more than that. I think about it.
Like
And
what,
I was-
Wichita area? Or what,
Yeah,
where-
south of
okay.
Wichita, a little town
Okay.
called Winfield. And landed out here. I was going to start a PhD program in zoology at Colorado State. And about 3 weeks before I was going to move out here, had everything set, and the funding fell through. And that was, 78, 79. But I had a place to go, and it wasn't Kansas, and I thought Colorado sounded pretty good. So I got out here, but had to learn. And I was tired. I mean, got tired of academia in hindsight. And I was like, did a few more classes, but never seriously considered going back. Started working in a restaurant and got hooked.
How'd you lovebirds meet?
Oh, long story.
I like to go
we
there.
got time.
Well, Share Our Strength, Taste of Our Nation.
Oh, there
back
you
in the
go,
day,
SOS.
we were on a committee together, and got similar interest in a lot of things, and one thing led to another, and here we are.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Were your interests food and beverage or something completely
It
different?
was
Like rafting. We like to
360 degree. We liked a lot outdoors, live in Colorado, food and wine.
We're about to. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. We can hear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So tell them the truth.
You tell them the
Oh,
Brenda, you tell us the truth, Brenda. It sounds like
we went to Montreal, had an affair, and got a little
you
town.
didn't tell them that.
Oh,
You know,
oh my goodness.
And Montreal's
We were
beautiful.
both- I was married to another chef, and
you can't stop
I
love.
got divorced.
There you
No.
go.
It
You
was
just can't.
we were destined to be.
we were very much involved in SOS and did some major fundraisers for them, and it just kind of happened. And I had to get out of town because everybody blamed me for his divorce. So we came over here. My mom's over here, and Theo had
Yay.
never been to the Western
Yeah.
Coast.
So wait, where were you all living at that point?
Fort
I
Collins.
was up in
Oh,
the
you're in
Pooter
Fort
Canyon. I had a fine dining bed and
Bring her
breakfast
up just
in
a bit.
Rustic in the Pooter Canyon.
Yeah, and I love that area.
And
I mean,
I had a beautiful piece of property, and but I was in Fort Collins all the time, and involved with SOS, and Theo asked me to committee all the chefs, and so that's
Well, and back then too, I had a restaurant involved with a restaurant there in Fort Collins, and farm runners, what they do. Brenda actually working with extension office.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the sec-
CSU extension
I
office
used to
was
sell,
doing.
yeah.
This is almost 25 years ago, a version of what Farm Runners is doing now,
it
getting
was
together
crazy.
local
People
growers.
did not know what I was doing, selling chef product to restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I only
Wow.
have this much of this, but will you buy it? And Theo was one of the chefs that bought anything that I had. That made me very happy.
well, Brenda, that was
Alternative motive.
progressive in Fort
Oh,
Collins.
it was so
I mean,
progressive.
big
Yeah.
time.
People they thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
And so I would go to the farmers, and you go to farmers markets and people want the biggest zucchini. I said, no, I want the baby ones. And I said, I can get you a lot more money for those, and you can grow more and more and
So
more that
smart,
way.
yeah.
So I had to teach the farmers what the chefs wanted as well. So it was cool. It was the front of the line. It was when it all started. Yes. What?
No.
Oh.
All right.
And that was all sustainable and organic. I bet you were pushing back then
A
as
lot
well.
of it was. I mean, or they were doing organic practices, but they
Weren't necessarily
still
certified,
You were
but
a-
yeah,
a
They
pioneer
can't
in that.
Spend the money to
That's never easy.
to go through all the organic.
certification.
Now the
So-
party's
Yeah.
just begun. I feel like we're getting stories now. There's one thing that COVID kind of, for me, is like, we're not getting the great stories. I can't wait to start getting back to just this. Getting the stories of the people that are doing the good things. And tonight, you're in for a treat because we're here at 626 on Route, and really glad that you've joined us. What we'll do is take a time out because I know you want to run back and check on things, Theo,
Yeah.
right? So do you, Brenda, but we'd love for you to come back here, rejoin us. We're going to continue as TME CRA Road Trip. This is day number 2. The gals are here with us. Dev, Laura, this is pretty fun, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
very, very fun.
You picked a beautiful evening.
I
to
know.
do
I feel like we're this
Perfect
this
night.
whole trip has been pretty #blessed.
Yeah, it is a beautiful evening. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We had a tour of Talbot's today.
Yes.
We've
Very eye-opening.
this morning. Wake up in Breckenridge. We're in Grand Junction now. We passed through a couple of places, but going through Glenwood, and I'll just show this again, Jay, as we go into break. What a beautiful drive! This is coming
love
out of Vail. This was the drive that you were talking about. But this time of year, people come and swarm Colorado from all over the place because what do they want to see, Brian?
The colors changing.
What do they want to see, Dev?
The leaves changing?
How about you, Laura? What do they want to see?
I feel like this is a trick.
This is not a trick. It's beautiful. It's colorful Colorado,
Colorado,
right?
yep.
And this time of year, it really is colorful. That car right in front of us, look at that crazy driver.
Well, I was just going to say, who's behind the wheel?
Which car?
Either
Well, the
one.
only car we can see.
Well,
right
so
there.
Brian is in this little blue VW ahead of us, and this is Jay in this car
I
right here.
feel like Brian's. You got
He actually gave me props today. He's
some Mario Andretti going on in there.
Well, I think that's Jay. Can you speak to that?
It sped up a little.
Yeah, no, he did great. He drove great. I'm sorry.
That sounded so sincere, Jay.
I got something weird going on with one of my iPads, and so I'm trying to figure that out.
You got something in your eye, Jay? This delicious jalapeno drink?
Man, that thing really grabbed a hold of me. You know, all jokes aside.
Me too.
I didn't know what it was.
I thought you were moved and you were tearing up.
Well, it was a little bit of that, but mostly jalapeno.
The food here is next level, and we're going to start getting some more dishes. And this is, again, this is why we do this, because of the great people in this industry. Zoologist? What?
Yeah.
Laura? Zoologist?
Well, hey, what should we give to people if they can say the last time we mentioned purslane on our show? Do you remember it?
I don't even remember what you just said.
Purslane.
And what should we give them? We're going to give people
well, we've got stuff to give away back
do?
in the studio. Oh,
What?
yeah, trust me. We've got a treasure trove of great things back in the
No, we
studio.
don't.
The CRA has things we could give away.
What do you want to give away?
CRA face mask.
Oh, look at that.
We have a little face mask. We might have some picnic blankets.
Look at this little secret garden.
I know.
behind
He
us.
can pick stuff right from behind us. Do you see he's got the tomatillos over here?
Who wouldn't want a little date night table for two right over there? I'm serious. If you haven't
I
been
know.
back out,
Why are we here with you guys?
Thank you for making me feel
Laura
so
and I
special.
should be on a double date.
right over there, and that's
With our husbands.
that's
with your husband.
That's very spacious. I'll tell you what, this is a great place. All right, let's break. We'll come right back. Jay's giving me the C. That means commercial. And turned everybody's mics off. All right, we'll be right back. 626 on Brood. The Modern Eater Show continues. I love the laugh.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's Kyle Mendenhall. I'm talking with my good friends from the Modern Eater Show.
We don't have HR.
Supporting them. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
We started Meridiem
Our
Spirits
HR
because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiemspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridiem, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street Spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope in Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hi guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Fourth is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding, HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands, because nobody likes handling taxes. That's Rebecca.berry@fourth.com, Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. And hey, you know what's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey, Colorado restaurant and food service operators. This is Rich O'Brien along with Pearson Shields over here at Elevation Food Service Reps. And we wanted to let you guys know that at the end of the month, on the 23rd and 24th, here at our global headquarters in Park Hill, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, we're going to be having our demo sale where you can buy great products gently used for an excellent price. And we want to invite you over, and you know, chefs, I know you all know Pearson, and he can vouch that these are pretty good products. It's going to be a good price.
No, absolutely. We used them, gently used them, and we're super excited. We're doing some good food as well.
Well, by
brisket,
you.
some chicken.
Yeah.
I'll be cooking.
Yeah, we got Pearson cooking, and hey guys,
Excited.
come over this way too. And don't mind the young woman right there. She's just kind of hanging out and hiding. But we have all this equipment here that we're going to be doing our best to sell and get out of here. So any questions, give us a call over here at Elevation 303-750-3727 or at elevationfs.com. And if you have any questions about the equipment, just give Pearson a holler. Thanks, guys.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year. So what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
Oh, okay. Hey, welcome back, and thank you. TheModernEater.com, a lot of great stuff, articles, everything you need to have to stay up to date, Brian.
Yes, and we've started organizing it in an incredible way so you can start tuning into old shows. And
we have 5 years worth of old shows.
By specific places, too, which is so cool. So you can look it up by year now. You can look it up by location.
And what if you're a podcast user?
If you're a podcast user, you can subscribe and download it on a regular basis.
Why haven't you told us that?
Jeff Rourke,
You don't know
A+
that?
Beverage
No.
Solutions.
Well, back to the show in just a minute.
We're going to be
Jeff
back
Rourke
to the
and
show.
A+ Beverage Solutions right now. Okay, Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions.
That's all.
The hell is
No,
going on here?
I didn't forget at all. Well,
Who am I?
yeah.
Easy, Sybil.
Where am I?
That's going to
This
be
is
another
Good Food
show.
Drink, and this is a road trip. Thanks for joining us, Jeff Rourke, A+ Beverage Solutions. He's a man. And if you look at it, we're inside of 626 on Rood, and what do they have that is just it stands out?
Whoa, 20 tap lines of wine.
And you can do that, too.
You can.
Call the experts, Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. Again, most trusted man in the business. He's a family man. 20 years in the industry. He can make your tap dreams come alive.
Really?
Or true.
Or true.
Well, but it's more about making them come alive because you want coffee pouring, you want wine, you want kombucha.
I'm just here to live edit everything.
That's right.
I like the live edit. I like that.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is as good and as real as it gets. It is live. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions, he can do maintenance as well. You need to have those taps maintained because if you're pouring inefficient beer or wine, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Did you know that?
Well, I guess I do now.
You guys, if you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing?
You're
pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain.
They're like, what? I've moved on to something else.
She got something put in front of her.
Get a hold of Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions, 720-272-3809.
Wait, one more time, please.
720, sorry, Jeff, 272-3809. Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Welcome back. Okay, 626 on Rude, catching up. Theo here with us, brought out a delicious dish. Now, I don't want to diminish this dish and call it street corn at all, because you would probably come across the table and kill me. So I'll let you describe it.
Well, we call it 66 street corn because everybody has a sense of what that is. And we took all the elements that you'd find in a classic street corn and just upped it up a little bit with a lathe of sweet corn that's organically grown by Tuxedo Farms there. And then here's your pork with the chorizo from Happy Hog. And I love this chorizo because it's got just enough spice. It's fairly lean as chorizo goes. And on top of that, roasted caramelized corn goes so well. A nice hard Mexican cheese with that. And then tangine and then a spicy creme fraiche. So,
whoa!
I know. Yeah, and you want to call it street corn, right?
Yeah. I'm just like, I have been on a lot of streets.
Well, you could call
I have never seen corn look this lovely.
Street corn Royale, maybe.
Royale.
Yes,
there
like
we go. That would be a play on Montreal, I guess.
True.
Are you making this cheese too? You were doing the hand pulling the mozzarella.
Well, we were doing, to be honest, again, the big effect COVID is. Impact had not only us as what we do as a restaurant, but a lot of restaurants who wanted to do as much as they could is just staffing, and the reduced hours is we had to cut back on things. So we just some things like the cheese we wanted to use on that. Just find a good outfit out of Denver that makes these, I believe, the corn. The cheese.
You're spreading the love and keeping more people in the business, too.
You know, like all the tortillas we use, we do a lot of fish tacos and things like that comes organic from the Denver area, too. So we can still find ways to buy within the area and in the state, but still be realistic what we can do. And with with me, it's 6 people in our kitchen right now. 5 days a week.
Wow.
But really great people, and it was really important for what we do here. And dive right in there, too.
Okay,
I'm
lifting up my mic and I'm going into the street.
Theo, would like to talk to you about because you and I have known each other for a little while.
Yeah.
And I want to speak to your efficacy and the way that you care about your sourcing. I mean, just even today, I spoke about this earlier tonight, is you were out today visiting the farms. You were part of the community, and even when you do have to source something from outside of your region, you care enough to really get some information about it to make sure what you're supporting is in your beliefs.
And that was, a lot of these relationships we built up for the 13, 14 years we've been open. Like we mentioned, Field of Fork, that's been a 8-9 year process. Blaine has been there, Blaine's Tomatoes and Farms.
You're so proper, Dev.
Yeah.
Just pick it up and eat it.
There you go. We can go all different.
I will not be judged by how I eat corn.
I will.
And we had some of Blaine's tomatoes, and they were amazing.
Yeah.
Of course.
The thing that's different for the farmers this year, though, too, is, and you mentioned Field Fork going a lot more CSA direction, and it makes a lot of sense because they weren't going to get out. They decided early on, and don't mean to speak for them, but we had conversations about what they were going to try to do this year, and restaurants, and I've heard this from other restaurants like us around the country, finding farmers that actually have enough product to sell to you because with the lockdowns, people are staying home. Just finding canning supplies now for anybody is impossible. Well, people are canning that never canned before. And so, people believe in the CSA model, and that's been a big boost to a lot of the small farmers, and the restaurants were closed.
Yeah. Do you think it'll last?
We'll see next year how much of all the stuff that got canned and frozen really got
Tastes
eaten.
delicious.
It tastes delicious, and I'm not minimizing that at all. And I think a lot of good's going to come out of this. People are appreciating more food that they create themselves.
That's what I think too, and then it helps them appreciate food everywhere and in restaurants, and they kind of get a little bit more about the love that goes into it.
And they, another thing that's happened for what we do is the takeout in this, even the street corn. We sell a lot of this to go.
Yes, Laura.
I'd like to leave with a couple dozen street corns.
But almost all of our menu, we kind of went back through and found ways that could go. People wanted that. They wanted to stay home but still enjoy a great meal, not only from us, but like Bin 707, they do a lot of takeout with what they do. And around the country, restaurants are looking at, and we had not done much takeout. I mean, it's just, we couldn't do it. And then we realized, we're going to have to adapt, and it's 10-20% of sales in a given week.
Thank you for saying adapt and not pivot.
Oh,
if I hear pivot one more time, I think I'm gonna
Did you pivot?
Yeah.
I want to see you lose your mind.
Pivot is kind of like you're spinning around in circles,
right.
And adapting means you're going that way, and then this happened this way, and both for our guests and for our staff, and that's we have a little roundtable meeting every other week, and what's changed, and what can we keep going with, and the next thing is once weather gets cold, how many people are going to sit outside? Right. We don't know yet, but
when I hear adapt, I hear that's going to be the new norm.
Yeah.
That is going to stick around. So you believe that your takeout that. We were missing out before and now, and that's going to stick around. That's going to be part of your business model going forward?
Yeah, and actually looking back and seeing what some people much smarter than myself were saying, and big outfits like Starbucks, they had already decided to, people were shocked when they closed, I think it was like 500 stores a few months ago, but they had planned to do that a year ago because they wanted to bring new stores on that were more easily accessible just to take out. People weren't going to sit in a coffee shop environment as much as they were, and take that into fine dining. People want to have a great meal or augment what they're doing with their friends on the weekend, but they want to stay home. So, and fortunately, a lot of our great guests called us up and said, we want you to do this, so we got on it.
Good.
Well, and in that adaptation,
give the people what they want.
Did you have to change? Because you have an elevated food here, Theo. I mean, I don't like calling it fine dining because your food is just good food, and it's how everybody should be doing it.
That's how we think about it, too.
But
what makes it fine dining is a great service like Angie has for us, and yes, and it makes a huge difference from, this is a great meal.
I've always noticed that about it because pre-COVID, right? Same thing. You've cultivated just a great staff, and it's even more difficult to not only cultivate a great staff, but to motivate now. What is, and I'm going to say we're still in the throes of COVID. What do you do in order to maintain a great staff, but not only that, but to motivate them right now?
It's communication, and we do have a path forward. And, we know things are going to change with the weather, for instance. But what do we do with that? And we don't have all the answers, but at least you're talking with your staff and they're involved. We did a really, really nice wine dinner with Colteris last week, and it was at a level that, would have been there a year ago. And it was how do we do this in what we're dealing with in the limited capacity? And it worked. And we just found we did a couple different things, and then people came out for it. And I would say just to the Valley in general, normally last week, that was Winefest week, over here. Huge. The biggest week for all of us. And that wasn't going to happen with COVID. And so Colteris and then a couple of the other different wineries did some of their own things. Colteris came back and put on their Wine Festivus and created their own events and Restoration, and I think a couple others did the same kind of thing. And I know the tourist-related outfits in Palisade were as booked as they could be right now because people had already planned to come over and have a good time, and they did.
Hey, fresh air.
Yeah.
I know you got to jump. Great food, great cocktails.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Great wine. Wine is very important right here.
Yeah.
So can you come back? Can we talk about wine?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're take a minute or two break, and we'll have the Ono out here. And
there's some heat on this corn.
It's delicious.
It is great.
It is so
really
tasty.
good.
And actually, I keep forgetting, it's like some of the little backburn we use in some things is from, again, talking with Blaine, was it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we had this crazy bumper crop of habaneros, and we'd never hardly, I mean, that's doesn't fit exactly what we do, but I said, well, back to fermentation we were talking. So we fermented out, what was it, about 20 quarts of habanero paste. And that's held up really well, so a little dabadouya and things like this and that sauce on there. Or the calamari, that's in that dish too.
But it's really subtle, but it's flavor.
Yeah.
As opposed to just heat.
Yeah, that's in, with wine and, again, call good dining, you want to have balance in what you eat.
All right, it's Laura question time.
Well, I want to hear more about the fermentation program.
Yeah, that's... And we talked about the English walnuts earlier, and that was kind of maybe our start, and that was about 6-7 years ago. And Scott and Jessica Field the Fork said, "You guys want to do something with these English walnuts?" And I started looking at them, and so okay, yeah, we can do that. I think because we'd done a lot of our own pickles before, but this was another whole level of commitment, to say the least. And what we have, I'll jump over to what we're serving right now. This is this is Hawaiian Ono, also known as Wahoo. And another part of what we do is, sourcing our fish, MSC certified. And Hawaii's got a lot of great fish. And this was flown in direct. We also work with Seattle Fish out of Denver a lot, too, for a lot of this. But the fish on this, the Ono, is so perfect. It's lean. But the reason I chose this to come out, because the other elements on the dish, it just makes it jump, is all the green on there, the crispy kale, is from Blaine. And it's just kale chips. We fry them a certain way, hit them in hot oil. And then kind of in the center underneath there, the kind of noodles, looking at basically raw cucumbers that we shred. Those are from Field to Fork this time, or they could be from Blaine. And then we have a hot dashi broth they just poured over, the servers poured over there to kind of warm everything up. And then some great flowers from our garden in Palisade, but just a very local dish, even though it's got fish from Hawaii on it. But, people want fresh fish too, so we got to find ways to do that.
Okay, guys, don't be jealous. You can be us too. Just come on out and Grand Junction. I mean, you think about it, a lot of people are actually considering Grand Junction to live in. Because it's just so close to so many things. You agree to that? I want to talk about that when we come back. Grand Junction itself, just this area, regionally, it's really a wonderful place. And tonight, I think, Brian, you did bring the sunshine. Tonight, the stars.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, Theo's going to jump up, and he'll be right back. So will we. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back. And 626 en route. This is a treat tonight.
Oh, my gosh.
I told you, Deb.
You know what? You were right.
It's a good meal, isn't it?
1 for Greg, 100 for everyone else.
That's right. Okay, we'll come right back, and you'll hear from some great local sponsors as well. Check out falldinnerseries.com. We're out gathering goodies for you to come join us for dinner.
Well,
it's
if
just
you can
a short
get a
week
ticket,
away.
It's almost sold out.
You know what?
Do that. I like that one.
You liked what?
I got it below you.
Right below. Check it out. falldinnerseries.com. falldinnerseries.com. All right, we'll be right back. We're in the groove. What are you doing? Oh, something went wrong. No, something's going right, and it's right here. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey, guys. It's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new Abbey 4-pack, featuring the 4 main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So there's the single, the double, the triple, and the quadruple. And let's talk about singles today. Singles or ankles are traditionally monk's beers served at meal times and during the day. They're low in alcohol, 3 to 5.5%, and they're often second runnings from stronger beers like triples or quadruples. This one is 3.8% ABV, and it's made from the second runnings from our triple. So what they're known for is lightness and drinkability. They're biscuity flavor with distinct hoppiness, and they're very refreshing. Great summer beers, available at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the metro area. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack today and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Back to the show in just a second, but before we do that, I want to talk to you guys about something that is very dear to my heart.
This fish that we're eating right now?
Bread.
Wait, Jay has a heart?
I love bread. I like fish, but I'm here to talk about bread because bread is my life, but not just any bread. AspenBaking.com. That's where you go, AspenBaking.com. You're going to find the most delicious bread on planet Earth. I'm talking the whole globe, whether it's flat or round. They are making and baking the most delicious bread in the city of Denver. Since 1994, Aspen Baking has been doing that. Do you want chemicals? You want artificial colors? You want all the garbage? Then don't go to AspenBaking.com. Go somewhere else, because at AspenBaking.com, they're only making the good stuff. Yeah, that's right. If you bake it, they make it. Or if you make it, they bake it.
I think we know what you're saying. It's delicious.
Thank you, Devaney. I'm still working on that. You know who else loves Aspen Baking? The Colorado Restaurant Association.
That's right.
They love bread, just like I do. And
can you buy direct, Jay? Can you buy?
Yeah, I forgot that one.
Why are you guys giving Jay such a hard time? He's just trying to do an honest commercial.
I'm helping him with it. This is Jay Love and Aspen Baking Love.
That's right, Aspen Baking.
You can order direct. Brian Freeman, thank you. You can also order on Amazon Fresh. You can also order online. If you're on your computer, go to aspenbaking.com right now. At least jump around. Look around at all the delicious bread they have. Lobster rolls, crab cakes, lobster rolls. It's everything.
You have a favorite, though, man.
Now I'm flustered. My favorite is the sourdough bowl, and I put any soup. I take the fish that you guys have, I put that in the bread bowl. You know what I mean? I grill the bread, I throw the fish in there, I eat the fish out of the bowl, and then I eat the sourdough bowl.
That's a good idea.
AspenBaking.com.
Yeah. Dev, you a bread fan?
I'm a breadaholic.
Yeah, I mean, it's bread, right?
I feel like no meal is complete unless I've had a bread item. And I actually do love Aspen Baking Company.
Oh,
well, they're great people and it's great food. You know.
Agreed.
Cut that out. Dev approves Aspen Baking.
Right. You know what my granddad told me about bread?
What's your granddaddy tell you about
it's
bread?
The best way to
what did Papa tell you?
To get more butter into your body is bread.
Well,
bread is just a vehicle for butter.
I do see that. It's kind of like a fry and ketchup.
Yeah.
Granddaddy ain't wrong. 626 on Road. That dinner is just delicious. I've said this the past couple of times while I have been eating, talking. But
you don't do this usually.
No. But tonight, you have to eat this, and you have to eat it just the way the chef wants it to taste.
Yeah.
Coming right out of the kitchen. Delicious and hot.
I think
Are you a fish person?
I love fish.
All right, let's see what happens.
I'm not too particular.
What do you think about this
eating.
seaweed, though?
Isn't it kale? I thought he said it was
kale.
Was it kale?
Yeah, it's kale.
But it's got he's got a micro of some sort in there.
He's presenting it like seaweed.
It is seaweedy, but without the seaweedy flavor, which I'm all for.
They're having a
I know Laura's over there having an offline conversation with
I wonder how
Chef.
good it is. Is it better than this one?
They're talking. I just snorted. My apologies to the TMA
I really
people.
made you laugh. That's good. I like doing
snort
that.
here and there. All right,
Theo.
kale.
I want to hear.
Anyone who can make kale taste delicious, I'm all for.
When they do kale chips and stuff like that, that's not. You'd rather have Aspen baking bread.
I really would.
Me too.
And a rosé or a blueberry martini or.
We're killing all of this food that's coming out here tonight. And as we're out and about, I don't know what's really stuck out to you for the past 2 days of road trip, Dev.
Well,
what have you seen? What?
Well, first of all, I would say to you guys, the restaurant love camaraderie has been lovely. super fun. And seeing you guys at work, as fun as you are, you're pros at what you're doing, which is super cool. I already knew that, but I'm just telling anyone who's listening who doesn't know that.
Thank you.
But yeah, the best times have been when we've all been together. I thought we had such a great time at not Carboy, but the Gold Pan with our friend Craig, who is our next door neighbor at the CRA headquarters. Very important headquarters. It's a building you've probably, a ton of you, if you're in Denver, have driven by and just been, what's that ugly little building? Well, that's where all the magic happens.
That's where we're at.
And
restaurants
well, that's where the fight starts for all the restaurants
Absolutely.
in Colorado.
Thank you, Brian.
They don't realize, I think, that what you all do every day is you're on the front lines for these restaurant owners.
It's the only reason we exist, and we've built a team of, these aren't, we hired people who love restaurants and love the industry and have a long history in the industry, and I myself have owned restaurants. I started
Are you kidding me? I did not know this Devonade part of you.
It is the truth. It is the truth. And then more to my heart was the liquor store, which I always called a boutique wine store, which is still there near Union Station in the alley in Lodo. But just, I feel like most of my career has been eating and drinking in some way, shape, or form. So, but this road trip has been kind of a good culmination of everything I love, including the Modern Eater guys.
Guys are great. Yeah.
Even you, Jay.
Especially you, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's the best part of us.
I kind of feel that.
Do you? Yeah.
But it's the three of you. It's the three
dynamic.
of you that
The three
really
amigos.
works. Yes, the three
It's sort of like this is a salt and pepper, that's a steak.
Wow.
That's how that rolls.
I mean, Jay is the meat market. Okay. Nailed it.
That's right.
Well, it actually fits better than you know.
Hey, Laura, welcome back.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
Yes,
tell
I
us.
just
Oh,
wanted
nice of
back
you to join us,
live,
Laura.
but,
She was stealing chef.
Yeah,
I was-
and we were getting a little envious. Tell us what that
I got the
conversation.
fermentation talk, you guys. We're
Okay.
going to have
Let's
to
hear
get
it.
him to come back. But
Was it a good one?
It was a good one. And I mean, the ambition, too, is we want to hear about his plans. They're good plans.
Okay, so you've
I'm
got
teasing.
some.
I
love it. I love it.
She's got some questions.
I don't want to
that
tell
she's-
his story. I got things.
But you'll know the right questions
yeah.
to ask. All right, he'll be back. Theo will be back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, truly, guys, as you've been, just 2 short days, and we're going to go a couple more days, I think truly what inspires us is just everybody and everybody's different ambition and hustle right now, just scraping and clawing and like, I don't want to drown. I want to stay alive. I want to keep relevant. I want to make sure that my guests are still coming to us and we're giving them what they want. That's the real story right now.
Yeah, well, and it's finding the people like Theo that are the ones who want to talk about that narrative as opposed to the other narrative that is, oh, woe is me. How hard is everybody making it on me? This is just life, folks. And get ready for the new norm. And it's unfortunate, but
Pretty well said.
I mean, listen, either you are gonna make things happen for yourself in the future.
What's the
or,
only thing that's certain right now?
Uncertainty.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
I think this trip's been interesting because we've talked to a lot of restaurateurs that I think are making lemonade out of whatever the
Well said.
Yeah, that's
they're
right.
making margaritas out of limes. I don't know.
even better.
Better
Laura.
said, yeah.
Yeah, they're making wine.
Wine out of
grapes.
water, yeah.
Nobody
All
wants
those
to be in the
analogies.
pandemic, but there's a real silver lining. We were talking a little bit about that. Sometimes limitations breed, insane creativity.
Absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see sort of these projects. We all went underground and baked sourdough bread, so let's see what the chefs did, because I don't think they were baking sourdough bread. I think they were doing something cooler than that.
But representing the state, Colorado Restaurant Association, right? So getting around to the state and seeing what people are doing, it's probably pretty cool to connect with them right now on a very personal level in a very impersonal world right
Thank
now.
you for saying that, because I emphasize always that we are the Colorado Restaurant Association. We are officed in Denver, and we love Denver, but we're not Denver centric. We're Colorado centric, and that's why we jumped at the chance to join you on this road trip, and we were going to do it ourselves, and this has just been
I'm so glad
I
you
guess
guys.
triple the pleasure or something like that, but
Double the fun.
yes,
Triple the fun.
so
We'll do that. That's the next stop. Durango.
That's double mint gum.
That's
Don't
right.
you remember? That's That's an old TV commercial. Double mint gum.
Triple the pleasure, double the fun. Double
But
mint gum.
it's been great. But we are going around Colorado, as Laura said, to share stories and hear what restaurants are doing, and to tell the community how you can support restaurants, because how much would it, can I say suck on the air? How much would it suck if your favorite place disappeared?
Oh my God, too much.
Yeah,
too much suck.
Well,
That would be
Who knew?
It would, and I think everybody would really concur, because think of all, and Sonia touched on this yesterday. It's like the ups and the downs, but weddings and proposals and first dates, and then Laura jumped in and said even the bad times, right? I mean, you go good times, bad times, and that's what you do when you gather. And honestly, tomorrow I am really looking forward to see the folks in the southern part of the state. We're heading into Telluride and Durango as well. Give us a little preview of what we're going to get, because I haven't met David at El Moro. Is that what it's?
Yeah, Dave Woodruff at El Moro. Yeah,
that
he's our chapter president down in Durango. I think we're meeting Dave Thibodeau down at Ska Brewing as well. Jim Carver, Carver Brewing. Got lots of things on our plate.
Tomorrow's a big day.
And metaphorically.
I'll tell you how important it is. Dave Thibodeau, it's his 20th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and he's going to hang out with us.
Yeah, and didn't he try to get out of hanging out with us because of that?
I don't know.
We trapped him.
We trapped him.
Right.
Good.
So
Good.
We'll have him for an hour tomorrow, too. We have a busy day tomorrow. It's going to be a fun day. But I really enjoy getting into the Durango area and the four corners of the world. And Durango's such a great, fun place. But there are really people. What's so cool is as you go around Colorado, we're really blessed. We have a lot of people doing it right.
Yes, we
right?
do. Yeah, we do. We learned that firsthand. And, not to dog on other states, but we really care.
Dog on other states.
Well, I mean,
we can do that.
Well, I'll tell you, I went to Florida, and not only was I completely disappointed with our airline industry, like first and foremost,
it blows your mind. It's like, how do you go on to an airline?
What'd you fly?
Frontier, and it was like 200 of your closest friends.
Well, everybody's hobby is making fun of Frontier right now.
Yes.
So
well, but it's real. I'll tell you. I mean, listen, the people on the airline, I think the people that are working for the company, they care. But I think that the reality is someone up higher didn't make the proper decision to say, you know what, let's let people distance. Let's clean the seats before we let the next group of people on. Let's practice something. Because
one interesting point that we heard was, do you guys believe this? We'll tell you what they said here over the little, in the cabin speaker. They said, did you know that every 3 minutes that right here in the cabin, the air is fully circulated in 3 minutes?
Yeah. They said something to the point of 97% or better. The air was recirculated. Like, if
you have
and
that
cleansed.
trick, how do we do that in restaurants? Give us that trick.
Yeah, well, it costs a lot of money. And then that's one of the things. I mean, there are people who want to do that. We talked to Paul today about wanting to do some of that, but it's expensive, and then it also, I think the state's still working on whether.
Right, if it doesn't become
works.
something that can increase capacity, then it's not worth the expense.
Yeah,
it's interesting. We need to be able to get more indoor seating going.
Yes.
Right?
Well, and wait, is the Colorado Restaurant Association making some efforts towards creating some grants potentially? Is a rumor I've heard.
Yeah, I think that's all we're allowed to say right now is it's a rumor you've heard. I mean, I think Sonia talked about that last night. It's still in the sort of planning process, so.
But that's great to hear. I mean, because I wanted to highlight that, Laura, is the fact that I think the CRA does so much behind the scenes for people. And sometimes in many organizations, it might not affect you today, but it's affecting your industry on the whole. And that's something that's so much more important and so bigger than any one of us can do. And I don't think you guys get the right recognition for that.
Well, thank you. But, I mean, the foundation raised almost $2 million and gave away all of that money to 3,500 restaurant employees. And I would say the association is more focused on the restaurant owner and the businesses, but we kind of try to cover the industry as a whole.
Yeah. Boy. Okay. One more break. Do you have it in you?
I do, for
Can you do
sure,
it? Because
yeah.
I want to wrap it up, but I want to talk about Fall Dinner Series.
Yes,
And
we need to.
It's
We
in
need
your
to.
backyard. We'll talk about the chefs. We'll talk about who's got what for tickets left. We'll talk about the food for the dinners and what we're gathering up. We're touring the state right now as we go get goodies. And Brian, Jay, we're used to doing this. We did the Summer Dinner Series. I'd say without a hitch. And, it was without a hitch. It was a
Without
good
a
one.
hitch, man.
I don't know what Fall Dinner Series is going to bring, but we would love for you to join us there. FallDinnerSeries.com. It's got the full lineup of chefs. They're good chefs.
Well, and it's got menus this time. I mean, we are way
That's right. We're
ahead
kind
of
of
the
organized
game.
this time. Sorry to be so organized, but you can, if you love to look at menus and you love to look at what food you're going to have, Fall Dinner Series. Go ahead, check that out while we're at break. When we come back, we'll go over it together. This is the TME CRA road trip. This is day number 2. Tomorrow, tell you right.
Day number
Durango.
3.
It's going to be a great time. All right, we'll be right back in a flash. The Modern Eater Show continues. I love the laugh. You ready?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's Kyle Mendenhall. I'm talking with my good friends from the Modern Eaters Show. Keep supporting them. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
We started Meridiem Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridiem, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope and Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.
You never know how terrible you look until you look at yourself on film. There's Brian.
True that.
Brian looks great. Look at him just digging into that peach. This is the second round of peaches. The peach crop was kind of devastated this year, you guys. Did you know that?
We heard from Chef.
Yeah, but there was a second round of peaches, and we were at Talbot's today. That's Charles Talbot that we were able to catch up with. It was really amazing as we
He just threw that peach away. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's right. Why would you ever do that?
I like the call out. In fact, I'm hoping someone's going to be sitting in a corner soon. Time out.
Here's the hierarchy, and Mr. Talbot comes in, and it was interesting because
look how happy they both look.
Yeah, we're touring with Charles Talbot, and there's his old man. He comes up, Paul Talbot, and it was interesting. Here he is on a forklift. He's doing work, and it's all hands on deck right now because really they're truly harvesting grapes. They're harvesting everything. I mean, anything that's on the land, harvesting it up. Do you see what we're doing right here? See what we're showing? Do you know what that is?
This is like peak crush time and harvest time for everything, especially Talbot's because they got everything. Trees and vineyards.
That's the voice of Theo, if you could hear it in the background. But that's right. It's harvest time, and fall harvest is really what it's at. Basically, what we were asking about is, what's going on right now? What are you doing? And he said, you know what? We just have to go quick. We have to get everything out of the fields right now, and they have a lot of property. But these guys, really, truly a centennial, 113 years, Jay. 113
Man,
years.
that's a
How
long
do you
time.
do that?
That's a long time to do anything.
Anything.
Let alone own and operate a farm. I mean, if it's anything we've learned, and especially from Charles today, who kind of taught me a few things I didn't know, is that it's not easy. I mean, and you know that, right? But I mean, when you know what they do and then you tag on 115 years, 113 years to it, it's mind-boggling.
And they look so happy. That's what's so sweet. Father and son look just like they're in their element.
Yeah. Well,
that's what you love to do, and you never work another day in your life.
You know what? That's
look
so
at
true.
him. He's got
Look at all of us,
Look at
Jay.
the smile on his face, and he's just so proficient with it. Boop, boop, boop,
You know, I love what I do, and the last 6 months have been a lot of work.
And you're so right. Brian,
Laura speaks truth.
Look at the video.
Always.
We just showed Paul Talbot.
Oh, you
Old
should
man.
rewind it back to that part where Brian threw away that peach.
Oh, yeah. Laura wanted to
you
reprimand
got
him.
so slammed.
And,
You threw
Laura-
the peach in the trash on camera.
Laura and Devaney
Oh, there's the peach, baby.
Watch this, people.
Hey, I ate half of that peach, folks.
Well,
In a bad.
I
in a
think
year
we're
where
gonna
it
go
was
ahead
a
and hashtag-
devastated crop.
look at this.
I jammed.
Hashtag Brian wastes a peach.
Hey, by the way, I took that peach out of the seconds tub that was going to be
care.
thrown
Still-
away. Peach. That
Still
was
worth gold.
They showed us the facility. Okay. Peach fuzz, yes or no?
Well, I love peach fuzz.
That's what I was going to. Oh, man.
Wow, we really got off the rails here.
No, yeah.
No, we're not.
Yes,
that
we have.
was a true conversation. Peach fuzz, yes or no? And they get rid of the peach fuzz for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Well, what's really interesting is because they sell into a commercial market. And in the organic market, I did much more field pack than is acceptable in the conventional realm. And so, it was
Can we
interesting
take note of
listening
this
to that.
service? that's coming
I
out
think
here?
we should.
Truly, as it comes out, the food is just expedited in a manner of where everybody's getting it. And I kind of like this. So it's a portion for two.
Yes.
So we're going to steal your pictures because you guys nerd out and put flashlights on them and everything.
We
in this
do. Did you
beautiful
like
patio.
that?
Yes, I think it's fabulous.
This is a pro tip.
Yes.
The other person that you're with turns
Oh.
on their
The
lights
lights.
on their camera.
And I'm going to steal your light.
All right, who's going to describe this dish right here? I
You know,
think
back
Chef
when I
Dave.
was editing the Village Voice, this is how all the pictures on the blog got taken, actually. Literally this.
Really?
So we have
Just
this
like this?
Just
So it
like
always
this.
had to be two people.
great bison short rib dish from High Wire Ranch in Hotchkiss. My only input on this was, hey, let's do bison short ribs, and then Ari took it and ran with it. So I'm going to have him explain the dish to you.
Let's get it, Ari. First of all, Ari, tell us who you are, your name, and give us 30 seconds of who you are, if you would.
Definitely. My name's Arausik Penn. I grew up here in the Grand Valley. I'm the chef de cuisine over here at 626 on Route. I went to culinary school out in San Francisco area, but then decided to move back for family and everything, and just kind of took what I learned over there and brought it back here, and just kind of working here at 626. Love it. Love Theo. It's the best place I could think of to work. It's really awesome. It's the best.
Would it be family, right? I mean, is that what you think of now?
Oh, 100%. Family. Yeah, no, this is definitely family-oriented, everything. It's very connected here. They care. He cares so much about not just the food he puts on the plate, but all of us in general.
Oh.
We feel it.
It's great. No, I love it. It's the best environment I believe anybody who works in a kitchen could work in. It's really great.
What
Yeah.
a treat.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I
Thank you
appreciate
guys.
you.
No.
Oh, my gosh. Heart emojis flying at you guys.
Yeah, we're keeping you,
yeah.
just so you know.
Awesome. So the next course it's a bison short rib that was sous vide for 3 days at a low temp to get it all nice and tender, all that collagen and connective tissue broken down in those short ribs. And
Is
so
3 days the sweet spot?
yeah, around 2 to 3 days
Yeah.
is the sweet spot.
What
especially.
happens if you go 4?
It'll go into mush. It's weird.
What
The texture-
happens if you do 1? The connective tissue.
Tough, super tough. Yeah, no, not good. This melts in your mouth. It's amazing.
And when you say low temp, tell me, low temp, how low?
130.
Wow.
130. Okay. Yeah, 130. So just above, in the good zone for no time temperature abuse, but that really low and slow, just perfect for it. Awesome. And then I finished that on the grill with a little bit of the jus that it was braised in, a little bit of that liquid that it was braised in those bags. And then in the middle is some quinoa that was cooked in a little chicken stock. And then we have...
Your chicken stock?
My chicken stock, exactly.
Love it.
And then the beet puree is a red curry beet puree, the red beet. And then the yellow beet puree is a dashi and lemongrass beet puree. And then poured over the top was a beaver dam pepper jus. And a beaver dam pepper is an heirloom pepper that's been kind of has more of like a spice to it, but it has a lot of flavor in there. And then that sauce just reduced down into a jus. Awesome.
Who are you?
Gosh,
I know.
Out to the chefs.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you
All
guys
right.
are
I love when I
great.
get to say this. How do you approach this dish?
Personally,
Yeah.
I would eat a little bit of the meat, see how that is, and then I would try it with a little bit of the red beet puree, then a little bit of the yellow beet puree, and then mixing the couscous into it, and after that, enjoying it all together.
Making some perfect
Yeah,
bites.
so you flirt with it a little bit, go back and forth, but then if you really want to just get then you have to commit. That's right. I'm going to have an affair with this
Short rib.
This is great. I'm so glad we got to meet you.
Thank you. I'm
I
glad.
really
I'm glad you guys are
appreciate
here.
it.
Thank you guys for coming in and letting me cook for
Absolutely.
you.
What's your shirt say?
My shirt says some serious gourmet SHIT.
What?
Yeah. You can say that these days.
Oh, shit.
You know? Yeah, we're going through a lot of shit right now. Some
Awesome.
serious gourmet shit.
Some serious gourmet,
It's
yeah.
happening right now.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Tell us your name again.
My name's Arousik Pen.
Arousik Pen.
Definitely.
Otherwise known as
Ari Pen. Yeah, that's easier. Ari Pen's a lot easier.
Ari.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you
I
guys so
appreciate
much.
you, Chef.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you, Chef.
Well,
Wow.
what do we do after that,
I mean-
right? Theo's going to sit down. Brenda. This is a proper way to close. I want to tell you guys that, first of all, we got to get Theo down for some sort of dinner series.
I know. Just even if
Right.
he can just come and enjoy it.
Him and Brenda.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, because I want to introduce him to Carboy Winery. These are two.
They probably
I mean,
know. They know
these
everything.
are like your staunch local supporters
all right,
here.
give Brenda
and
a
so,
microphone, too.
Never know what's going to come out of
Theo, the home wrecker, rejoins us. What?
Excuse me.
I didn't say.
I got to own it. Yeah.
No, you can't stop true love. That's
Yeah,
what I
you
say.
can.
There
That's
we go.
right.
We
It's-
might have all had some
it's-
off-market
it's in the-
transactions that just worked out, okay?
Off-market transactions that just were 626 on the roof. This is what it's all about. This is the times that we say you have the great times at a restaurant. This is what we all need to really go, okay, what matters in life? Making sure that these restaurants are after. It's called post-COVID.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. We're working on it.
Well, it's how do you support people like this every single
Well,
day
just
to
what we're doing.
drive
Right.
this message home that these are the people we care about.
Uh-huh.
I don't care about some chain that moved in town.
You don't want more breadsticks?
No, I don't. I don't want an
I
endless
want them.
pasta bowl. You know, I want.
You don't? That's weird. Huh? You don't want to
No.
eat fresh? Subway?
Well, the
All
change will be here on the backside
They
of
will.
this. Yeah,
They
they got the resource and everything else.
Absolutely.
It's the independence that
Jay, let me give you
things
the light.
look real sketchy for. And we've been fortunate here in Grand Junction, along with some that have been 707, us, and 4 or 5 other restaurants have had a okay. We're not going to say great, but we're still here, so it's great, right? And
Absolutely.
so we're starting to say, okay, the backside of all this, what that's going to be. Things will be different. I don't know what that's going to be. But you're right. Restaurant experience
Yeah.
is, all you're going to walk away from is the emotion of being with your friends and good food and relaxing. And hopefully we bring something that, is something different from what you have, for yourself at home. And you want to come out. And the great staff, I can cook great food, but to create the whole experience, we need, the Angie and all the other great
Staff
servers
has
we have.
been stellar.
Angie
Yeah.
really knows her wine.
Yeah.
Very, very
And that's where I'll
impressed.
say, it's like, okay, I could ask you a terrible question. Okay, Theo, is fine dining dead?
Well, no, it's
No.
not. It's just going to be different again.
It's
This is-
different.
yeah.
It's different.
This is in the last, and I've been doing one version of their fine dining for 20 plus years. And in the last 8 years, it's changed 3 times at least. And so it's still there. People want to go out, enjoy something special and unique. And at the same time, we're creating something that can be more approachable every day, too. But, yeah, people want, clean glassware and nice silverware and
when I see you guys expedite this food and you bring it out and you've got a couple of people and the team's there and Angie comes out and she's so well versed on the menu and the cocktails and the wine and no, fine dining is not dead.
Oh, no, I won't let it be. I mean, seriously, I'm someone who
does it have a different definition? Is the lexicon changing?
Well, I think it's still you keep trying to come up with different words, but fine and dining keep coming back together. And you aren't going to find any other better answer for that.
What I love about this is it's just not precious, it's delicious, and we're in this beautiful patio and everything, so it feels like fine dining, but it just feels very community and close.
That speaks to you, right? Fine dining is a standard of service and a standard of food. It doesn't. It's not about
pretentiousness.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, to some extent, it's not about what does the restaurant look like. What is the? I mean, sure, okay, there's an ambiance factor there too, but there is, your team is. The fine dining element is the service being served the food in a seamless way. Service fades into the background. There's
terrific wine options and
absolutely, but there's
great
an
wine
expectation
with
of
clean glasses and everything's clean and everything's a little more polished.
Yes,
and people want that. And what I want to say about supporting the local restaurants is that it's not just us; it dominoes into so many. I mean, it's the people I buy from. It's my wine distributors, my food distributors, their families. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So it's not just about 626 and, are we going to make it? It's everyone that we support through having this restaurant open.
10% of the Colorado is employed by the restaurant industry, and that bleeds out into what you're talking about. 10% of the workforce.
Wow.
Well, I know small farms that restaurants are their only source to sell their products to.
Well, that was one thing. It's like if there was something that COVID showed, it was like, what's the chain? What's exposed? What's broken right now? And, boy, we really showed that service industry had its pants down where retail just thrived, right? Do you have something with that?
Well, it's, again, the initial hesitancy and people just did not want to go out. And rightfully told not to go out. And that was like from, March 16th to March 17th. It was like whammo. And where with retail, these people could go, whether it's curbside or whatever, they're just non-perishable products you could hand out. Where with, so many restaurants, particularly independent, you're creating stuff as you go. And that was, and it was horrible. We had to come in here and throw away so much stuff. And a lot of it we found ways to donate and give away and cook meatloaf and things that, could be used. But, we work with fresh ingredients. So, okay, moving forward, where are we going to be? Well, we're still going to have our guests that have supported us all along.
Amazing guests we have.
And the other restaurants have them as well. But it's... it's a longer run than a lot of people thought back in April and May. They said, okay, we'll be done by October, November. And this is going to carry into next year. So I appreciate what you're saying about go out and support local restaurants. And the restaurants are going to do their part of continue to innovate and be creative with the limited resources than what we've had. And that's been the challenge last few months because we have so many great guests, but my mother-in-law is one of them.
I was going to say my mother. My mother comes every Friday and picks up for her LOLs.
Yeah.
Which are her old lady friends.
LOL.
They all live in the same a block and a half, and they're like, we're bored.
She must be so proud of you.
Well, they are, but they're bored. We need some different options for them.
So that motivates us, you know? If the LOLs are bored, and they've supported this restaurant since it opened, we have to do something about that, and we have to listen to everything the guests say. But when it comes from my mother,
there might be a lot of ears.
So, okay, Theo, my mom's bored. What are we going to do? Let's get something else on the menu.
What's the answer to that, Theo?
Bison short ribs.
I'm definitely not bored.
In fact, every Friday she comes and does curbside pickup. and she brings her box from the week before, even though we're probably not supposed to do that, but it's going right back to her.
It's
And,
that's family.
And she sits out there and she calls in, even though I know she's coming, so I'm right
You're
there.
on it.
And we take care of them. But that's what we love. That makes us excited. That's what it's all about. It's just a different thing than it used to be. It's just, so you got to get excited about these different things.
Yes.
That you never ever thought would happen, to keep your passion going, right?
Oh yeah,
right. Oh yeah. Keep that.
No,
keep that
I
passion
feel like
going.
you guys are glowing in this, and
Yeah.
granted, I just met you, so
Well,
maybe
there's no
maybe you're
alternative.
just always glowing. I don't know,
There's
but
no
this is just
alternative.
terrific.
They're
Sometimes
have to
red
keep
hot
going.
glowing, but
Well, but it's
Laura, Deb, are you in
understanding,
love?
yeah.
I mean,
I'm in love.
Yeah.
I'm in love, and I've always been enamored just of your name, and I'm like, what's a road? And then someone finally told me it's a street.
Oh, and I have to tell you, my mother came up, because if she's listening or will listen, my mother came up with a name. I have to give
It's
her
a
that.
great name, and it's got some. It's a. I don't know. You want to check it out.
It's the address.
So now I have. Damn it! I'm so thrilled to have been here.
It's very creative. It's the address. It's really
Well,
what it
you know
is.
what? Easy
That was
peasy.
better. Everybody does addresses now, but we were like the first.
No,
and you
it's
know,
great, and we
you know
don't.
how
You
many-
can just Google it quite easier.
You know how many times people would, well, where are you? 66 Route. No. Where are you?
No, what's your address?
Yeah.
66
No,
on
exactly.
Route.
Where are you?
It's
yeah.
on Rude.
Well, and wouldn't you say, though, in a testament to, I mean, what magic you've created here is the fact that in this transition that you're making, you are replacing what somebody would come here and get to the fact that your mother would come and drive up. Because that's what, I mean, remember, what you were trying to evoke is that sense of community where we can sit at a table and enjoy ourselves.
Right.
But we want to do it in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Because you're such wonderful people.
Laura, was the 3
You know?
day? Was the 3 days enough for that? We should have been 2. Should have been 4. Was 3 days
This is
enough?
only day
Just
2. It
right.
feels like day 7, but
we're,
come on.
we're talking about the
Who's
meat,
counting?
sous vide meat.
I think the sous vide is.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a long time with you guys. It's been 2 damn days.
It's
Sorry.
been 2
Not
days.
incidentally, not long enough to cook a bison short rib.
Right. Good. Thank you for bringing that full circle.
Thank you, Laura. That's
I
right.
might say properly cooked.
Yeah.
Bison
That-
short
No,
rib.
there you go.
That's
And that's along the lines of things we're just finding, okay, let's do some things different, but that fit the Western slope. And you'd mentioned earlier Colorado cuisine. Well, Colorado's a big state, all the way from where I escaped from Kansas to Utah, to the desert. And being Grand Junction.
Brenda, we'll miss you.
Yeah. You know, I love living here because you go an hour either direction, it's completely different. But it's, I really appreciate coming over and just what you, the 5, 6 of you are doing to showcase what's going on over here, because there's amazing things going over
We
here.
really appreciate that. It's really interesting because you can go to a lot of places. You go, great patio. Let's go for the patio. And then you go, oh, great wine program. Let's go for the wine.
Right,
oh, great cocktails. Let's great kitchen. Let's do everything.
Right. Great
is here.
people.
Yeah.
Everything is here. You've got it all.
Well, that's,
I mean, truly.
we're back to fine dining. That's fine dining.
It really
Putting
is.
all those
Yeah.
elements
Can
all
you
together.
come here every day and make me feel
Yeah,
better?
yeah, well,
But what I love is impromptu magic,
Yeah.
and that's what this has been.
Yeah,
Like
it truly is.
cameras, whatever, and all of that. But this has
Is
been.
everybody enjoying watching us eat?
That's right. Well, some people they like to do that.
Really like to do that.
As just the last one for me. So, as the Modern Eaters here, and so is the CRA, and we really want to be that support and that highlight. What can we do more to help you out? Is there anything that we can do?
More of this, and I know the outreach from the CRA from the very beginning. I personally, as the small business restaurant owner, knew there was somebody out there and resources right away. With the newsletter every day, there was
Exactly. That was
updates.
really important. Theo,
And-
I mean, I wasn't reading them.
Brenda.
Well, but Theo does it for me.
That's
No,
right. You're the boss. Of course, he's doing it for you.
I got
But
delegated.
he was telling me, I mean, it helped him because, bottom line, I'm the boss, but Theo is the rock of this business and kept us going through. I mean, he's like the Energizer Bunny, but he does it at a slow pace. So he's just like
it's clearly a great partnership.
Brenda, bring that right up to you.
So I'm sorry, and so he kept us all together, and he was calm. I freaked out a little bit.
It was freaky.
It was, because what's next? You know?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I was there every day, sometime 2-3 times a day. Sonia Riggs would send out updates.
Mm-hmm.
This is happening. That's happening.
So that really helped us feel better and feel like we had somebody in our corner.
Yeah.
And it was transparent too, in the sense that this is what we know now. It may change, and we
just tried to be honest.
Yeah.
We wanted to give the
policy.
news whether it was good news or not. And Sonia is a fierce fighter, and Laura is a fierce communicator and making things simple. And it's been such a great team combo with people. And,
I agree.
And we exist for you.
And I could look, this tells me what I need to know, or even the different counties were doing different things, and it was a help getting that sorted out from like a third party that I trusted, and instead of rumors. And believe me, there was a lot of that going on back.
And even when we would send things out, we would get a ton of questions, which clarified things even more for us that then we could re-put out. So please, anyone restaurateur who's listening, and you guys, there's no dumb questions, as we know. So. And we try to answer all of them.
That came across, you could ask if you needed it. And then from just foodies, the modern eaters of the world, just promoting, or not even that sense, but just, hey, great restaurants are still there. They're finding different ways to be there, but they will be there for you. And whether it's what we're doing or Josh Nuremberg with Bin 707, Enzo's here in town, and I could go down a long list just here. And Denver's, I can't imagine what it is in Denver now for restaurants.
It's harder in Denver.
I was there twice last month. And my son works in a restaurant in the Highland there, and it's hard.
Devastating, and we're hopeful. And Laura, say something better than I just said, would you? It's hard, but we're.
Yeah, I think everybody across the state is facing much the same thing, which is what are we going to do in the winter, right? That's the elephant in the room. And in Denver, I think it's maybe more present because the summer hasn't been as strong as some of these communities.
No, it hasn't.
So, that's something we're all going to have to figure out, and we're all working on, and we're going to. I think that's the thing about this road trip. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think that's the optimism. We are going to figure
because
it out.
we're restaurant people, and that's what we do. That is what we.
That should be the last word, Brenda.
That is. I would tell you
out.
more about Fall Dinner Series, but we can do that tomorrow. I got to tell you, that's the mic drop. You guys,
you're
the highlight.
Hospitality
Thank
people.
You. Really, truly.
That's what we do.
Can we poster challenge? I mean, these guys are amazing.
I'm in love with them.
Whew, what a night.
Cool.
This is why we go out and do what we do. This is why we tour the state. This is why we connect the dots. Jay Parker doing just great work, man. I mean, what a day. It doesn't always work out with technology, but we got some good stuff today, and I really appreciate you, Jay. Thanks so much. For Jay Parker, Brian Freeman, Brenda, Theo, thank you for the hospitality. The gals at the CRA, Dev, Laura, thank you so much. Sonia, if you're missing out, you missed out tonight.
Yes, you did.
But we'll be back at it again tomorrow. We're heading south.
Yes.
That's
Telluride in Durango.
Telluride, Durango. Just doing good stuff and keeping Colorado connected. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. And I'll tell you what, we're going to bring you more good stuff tomorrow. So meet us back here again. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
It was way more than we could have ever expected. But fine dining, it exists. It still does.
Yes, it does.
Experiences
Good
are
night.
wonderful. All right, good night from the Modern Eater and the CRA. Our road trip continues, and we'll kick that rock right on down the road. We'll see you tomorrow. The Modern Eater Show continues.